NBC Sports, home of the Olympic Games, the NHL, the PGA Tour, Premier League, and Primetime's #1 show, Sunday Night Football, only on NBC.
This is Football Night in America, presented by Allstate.
On a clear, crisp Saturday evening, our focus is just about 10 miles outside of Washington, D.C. for the third of 6 games on this super wild card weekend. The 7-9 Washington football team hosting the 11-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For Tom Brady, he's 43. He's in a different uniform, but the quest remains the same as he chases a 7th Super Bowl title. The news for Washington? Well, Alex Smith is inactive, and that means Taylor Heineke, who was signed off the street last month, will make just his 2nd ever NFL start. By winning the 256th and final game of the regular season, Washington took the NFC East and claimed the 4 seed. Elsewhere in the NFC, the Rams and Seahawks still in progress. Highlights of that one coming up. The 2nd-seeded Saints host the Bears tomorrow. The Packers, they are in the bye, and they're just waiting to see how all of this unfolds. And so are we as we welcome you into Football Night in America. Hello, everyone. Liam McHugh, Chris Sims, and Rodney Harrison. We have a 4-5 game, but we have a why not us against Super Bowl or bust, which is where we should start, because when you bring Tom Brady in, Chris, those are the expectations.
Well, of course, that's why they got Tom Brady, to be in these moments that they're in tonight. This is a guy that gives your whole locker room confidence, everybody in your organization confidence, and they should right now. They're peaking at the right time. The offense since the bye week has been phenomenal, and Brady, his arm, the way he's playing, it's as good as he's ever played in his career. So I'm excited to watch tonight.
If you're the Washington football team, you have to make this the most physical game that you played all year. You got to hit Brady. You got to hit Gronk. You got to make sure that Tom doesn't have a nice, clean pocket behind, because if he does, he's going to pick you apart, and it's going to be a blowout.
Well, and Rodney's right. You talk about their defense in Washington. That's Taylor Heineke. You talked about him. Yep. He's got to be real conservative to start the game. Play through the defense. Don't take a chance until the game says, okay, it's time to take chances. Play through that defense.
Heineke is the 4th QB to start for Washington. Just another change in a year that was filled with changes for this franchise as it transforms. And really that all began last January when the team hired Ron Rivera, who said he planned to change the culture. In July, after continued public outcry, majority owner Daniel Snyder announced that the team was dropping its former nickname. In August, Washington hired former NFL running back Jason Wright, the first black team president in league history. Now, on the field, Alex Smith's remarkable return helped ignite their second-half surge, which culminated in a division title last week. He can't go tonight. Just one more thing for Ron Rivera to deal with. A short time ago, he spoke with Jack Collinsworth.
Coach, Alex Smith is the greatest comeback story this league has seen. Inactive tonight with a calf injury. What went into that decision?
Unfortunately, we just couldn't get, didn't have enough time. And it's unfortunate because, he worked at it, tried to see if he can go the last couple of days, and just really couldn't get it going.
Well, Coach, that brings Taylor Heineke in. What does he bring to your offense?
Well, Taylor's got a strong arm. He can make pretty much all the throws, good decision maker. He's been in the system before, so he knows it, and he knows it very intricately. So we're really not concerned. We saw something that gave us a lot of confidence, and that was when he came in and played pretty much the 4th quarter against Carolina.
And, Coach, it sounds like your defense wants Tom Brady. What did you tell your young stars about how to frustrate him tonight?
Well, the biggest thing we talked about was we had to get pressure. We had to get push. We couldn't let him get back there and get comfortable because he has the ability to read your defense and distribute the ball. So we've got to get him off his mark and get him very uncomfortable.
Coach, really appreciate your time. Best of luck.
All right, Jack. Thank you.
He'll be leading on this bit. Taylor Heineke, when he was signed early last month, he was taking online classes at Old Dominion, where he played in college. He saw relief action in Week 16, and with Smith out, he's getting set for his first career playoff start.
Football Night in America is brought to you by Allstate. You've never been in better hands. By Jersey Mike Subs, be a sub above. And by Rocket Mortgage, home loans that fit your life. Rocket can. This is Football Night in America, presented by Allstate.
Welcome back. This was a few moments ago. Antonio Brown making his entrance, wearing something out of the Chris Sims collection.
Well, that's funny. Hey, that's something when you know you got too much money right there.
Man, that is something. I thought that was Coach Dungy's suit. I thought maybe he was
It's a suit that costs a couple bucks. Let's make some money here. Time for a super wildcard edition of Sunday Night 7. $100,000 up for grabs. Rodney, how many passing yards and passing TDs for Tom Brady?
I'm going 250 to 284 yards. Chris actually helped me with this one.
Oh,
and you helped me choose 3 touchdowns, Liam.
I did. You got a couple people to blame now tonight. Make your picks on the NBC Sports Predictor app. You know, there were growing pains, a fair share of blunt criticism in his first year with Bruce Arians, but Tom Brady threw for a franchise record 40 touchdown passes. Earlier this week, Tony Dungy spoke to the Bucs head coach.
Good day, baby.
Play great. Great players do.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Hey, getting great protection. Hang in there, baby.
Bruce, you've had a chance to coach some of the greatest quarterbacks in the game. What's it like coaching Tom Brady?
It's another challenge. Getting Tom comfortable. I think that was really hard for Tom to totally leave a system after 20 years.
Nice job, boys. Way to hang in there. All day, just like that.
And, 2 flip wide is now dice right. It's like all those things that you have to learn. And we just kept evolving this year to make him more and more and more comfortable.
Spike that ball, Tom Brady.
Going against Washington, what needs to get done for the Bucs to come out on top?
We have to block offensively. And defensively, we got to tackle.
One thing, tackle. Just missing too many tackles. Tackle.
They got 2 really tough tackles as backs who are really good receivers.
He's shot.
So your mentor, Bear Bryant, would be pretty proud. Just block and tackle, right?
Block and tackle and expect the unexpected. I mean, that was his speech every week.
Try to score every time you get to football. If we do that, we'll be all right.
What can you tell America that you taught me during our 4 months as roommates in Kansas City?
Oh, gosh. Don't watch basketball until 2 o'clock in the morning and get up and go to work.
A lot of that.
Tony's calling the game for us tonight. Tony, I love that picture. About 30 years ago, I can't believe the two of you were roommates. Has he changed much?
He hasn't changed at all. He's the same guy. He didn't mention that he taught me how to dress and wear hats, too. That's one thing he did. But we had a lot of fun. We watched a lot of basketball and ate a lot of ice cream late at night.
Tonight's game, we have a distinct contrast in personalities, in star power, and in styles. How do you see it all playing out?
I think it's going to be like one of those old school basketball games we used to watch, Georgetown and Villanova. Bruce is Georgetown. He's got this Tampa Bay Bucks team wanting to attack, full court press, stay on the initiative all game long. And Ron Rivera and Washington, they're Villanova. They want to slow it down, be patient, bleed the shot clock, and take it into the fourth quarter close. So I think we're going to see a difference of wills and who can carry that out and get their tempo and put it on the other team.
And we'll get to see if Ron Rivera celebrates like Raleigh Massimino, potentially.
Yes.
All right, Tony, thanks so much. Enjoy the call tonight. For us, it's time now to simplify the game, powered by Microsoft Surface. So, Bruce Arians, that aggressive nature also manifests itself on the defensive side. Guys, Taylor Heineke's got some things he needs to be concerned with.
No doubt, Liam. Both of these defense can pressure the quarterback. And when it comes to Tampa Bay's defense, they're best when they get after the quarterback, blitz, play aggressive defenses. You see all the people here close to the line of scrimmage. They got the safety 9 yards back. This is Aaron Rodgers. It's 3rd and 2. They don't care. They want to get people around the quarterback, and they're going to take away the short throw and not give you anything easy. And now they got a good defensive line on the Washington side.
An excellent defensive line. And I've known Tom Brady for a long time, and if you hit Tom, you can rattle him. And he hates pressure directly in his face. That's why it's up to Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne to bring that constant pressure in Tom's face. And like you heard Coach Ron Rivera say, make him uncomfortable behind the center.
I would got to think, Liam, tonight that Washington front four has got to get a strip sack, fumble, or cause a turnover if they want to win a game. Back to you, Liam.
And guys, of course, Chase Young, just a couple of years ago, he was being coached by Urban Meyer, who has been linked to several NFL teams. At this point, let's bring in Mike Florio. All right, 6 head coaching vacancies in the NFL. Mike, what's the latest?
Well, you mentioned Urban Meyer, and there's been a belief for a while now, Liam, that the Jaguars' job is Urban Meyer's if he wants it. And the Jaguars have done nothing at all to push back against that idea. The Jaguars and Meyer met on Friday, and he is making phone calls to line up potential coaching staff members, potentially general manager hires. He would hire his own GM. The question remains, though, is he ready at age 56 to become an NFL head coach for the first time? Now, we're going to see the Buccaneers in the playoffs tonight for the first time since John Gruden was the head coach. He arrived in Tampa Bay 19 years ago via essentially a trade. That doesn't happen very often, but there's some buzz that for one of these other jobs that are currently available, the team looking for a coach may call a team that currently has a head coach and see if it can work out, essentially, Liam, a trade for that coach.
Mike, Texans are a team that's looking for a head coach. They certainly have a quarterback in Deshaun Watson, but he has been unhappy. You've been all over that story. Things seem to be escalating quickly. Trade talk blowing in the wind. How serious is the situation?
It's pretty serious. There's smoke and there's definitely fire. I'm told that the Texans are deliberately trying to downplay the situation as it relates to how severe it currently is, and it is severe. So if it does get to the point where Watson wants out and the Texans are willing to accommodate it, what would he bring via trade value? I talked to some general managers today. The loose consensus is 3 first-round picks, and one told me if this year's first-round pick is in the top 10, that makes it even more attractive, and it becomes almost an offer that the Texans couldn't refuse if Watson wants out.
3 first-round picks. Mike Florio, good stuff. Thanks so much, bud. All right, keep it locked to Pro Football Talk for all the latest. Still ahead, highlights from the other 2 games today. Buffalo won its first playoff game in a quarter century, and the Rams defense showed up in Seattle. Could Russell Wilson lead a comeback?
Simplify the game. Powered by Microsoft Surface, the official sideline technology provider of the NFL.
Liverpool, Premier League champion, the greatest spectacle in racing, Indy 500.
Without question, this is Rafa's house.
Bryson DeChambeau, U.S. Open champion.
Lightning have won the Stanley Cup.
Championship season coming this spring to NBC.
These franchises have some playoff history. Just ask our friend Tony Dungy. Take you back to 1999, Rodney.
He's got hair.
That's crazy. Brad Johnson, a few years later, he's going to be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers there, winning the Super Bowl with them.
Tampa trailed 13-0. They came back. They won it 14-13.
Good mustache, coach.
You see that? 2005. Whoa. A fresh face. Chris Sims.
Who is this young stud diving in the end zone?
Now, who is this athlete jumping over? I didn't know you had that in your repertoire.
It was just one time in my life. Don't get too excited.
Trying to lead a comeback here.
But I know you have this, that deep ball, that spiral. Nobody throws a prettier ball, Chris.
Thank
I'll give you some
much.
props on that.
That hurt me.
A catch or not a catch?
Not a catch. That really hurt. I won this football game. I'm still mad about it.
You look so young.
Man, I think I'm 18 there. I don't know what I am.
That was the last time Washington won a playoff game. We saw you run one in for a score. After that, you threw the ball
to the pirate ship.
Legend has it.
It went in the cannon hole, like where the actual cannon sticks out. That's what people have told me. I didn't see it actually go in there, but people say that to me.
And you're not telling them it didn't happen.
Of course not. Not now.
I believe him.
That's what happens when you have a cannon for an arm. It's just the way it goes. All right, present tense. The right here, right now. Let's take you on the field, presented by Allstate. Injury intrigue all over the place leading up to this one, but it appears that this man, Mike Evans, we saw his knee buckle last week. He's good to go here.
Tom's happy to have his 6'5" target back. Not sure how healthy he is, but up defensively, any chance you get to jam him, to hit him, to slow him down, see if that knee is healthy for 4 quarters.
And that's why they got Antonio Brown. In case he's not healthy, you got a guy like Antonio Brown who could fill in. The offense won't miss a beat, but Antonio Brown is still phenomenal. And Brady does have a great connection with him. They are on the same page. I'm sure he's going to be a big part of the game plan.
We're keeping an eye on Terry McLaurin and his ankle, but he's on the field, and he looks ready to go.
They need him ready to go. He is the big playmaker for this Washington offense. He's the guy that can catch a 5-yard slant and run for 80-yard touchdowns. Hasn't been healthy lately. Hopefully he's ready to go tonight.
Yeah, and this is Chase Young. We know he's a physical freak, but the most impressive thing about him is his leadership. For him to be named a captain as a rookie really speaks to the respect from his teammates and his work ethic. Excited to see this young man play tonight.
Rookie looking to step up in a big spot. It's an incredibly lopsided matchup in terms of playoff experience. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski have combined to play 57 postseason games, nearly the same total as the rest of Tampa's roster combined, and more than Washington's entire roster. Now, like many of his teammates, Chase Young getting set for his playoff debut, and he is eager to face the GOAT. Chase, obviously you're pumped up.
Tom Brady, I'm coming.
What do you think about what you said leaving that field?
I'm fine. I wouldn't take it back.
I'm the baddest mother up in huge defensive play for Washington. And I'm about to make it there.
If you know me, you know I'm a competitor. I'm not going to back down to anybody.
Let's go. I'm not losing.
No disrespect. He the GOAT. I mean, obviously he's the GOAT. I want to go with the GOAT. That's the mentality that we have to have going into this game.
Chase Young are turning into a one-man wrecking crew.
You returned to the field, and you had an opportunity to FaceTime with your mom.
You know, it was a surreal moment. You know, I'm a rookie and found out I'm going to the playoffs. They said, what did you think of the touchdown tonight?
Oh, my gosh. I'm just so worn out. It was just outrageous. I couldn't even believe it. I was in shock.
For those who are just looking at Washington and just say they're in and they'll be out and we'll move on, you say to them what?
We in the dance. You never know what happened when you get there.
We're going to playoffs.
Football in particular, you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. That's all I have to say.
Chris, I didn't have a problem with anything that he said. Do you have a problem with anything? That should be the mentality, right?
I mean, if I'm drafting a guy, the number 1 pick or number 2 pick, I want him to come in.
You
and
want
be
him
the
to have
leader.
that attitude,
Yeah,
right?
I want him to take on the best and put him down. No doubt about it. I'm with you.
Just talking to him, he knows it's his job. It's what he has to do tonight. He also knows that if you get pressure on Brady, his production just plummets. The problem is, of course, if you don't get that pressure, he will slice you up because he is totally in sync right now with his weapons.
Totally in sync, Liam. That is the word. Ever since the bye week. And then they're protecting him unbelievably, too. And he's got weapons galore. I mean, you talk about Mike Evans, right? Let's start there. He's their one-on-one guy. If he's one-on-one, it's deep down the middle. It's outside the numbers by the sideline. And then you see here, are you kidding me with that throw? Tom Brady, 43 years old. That was a laser. Unreal.
Yeah, don't forget about Antonio Brown. I've been impressed with. He looks like his old self. He looks fast. We already know he has great hands. And the chemistry that he has with Brady is unreal.
And then there's the Chris Godwin aspect, the guy who's going to work the underneath part of the offense, big over the middle, and then can do stuff after the catch as well.
And one thing you can't forget is his favorite target, and that's Rob Gronkowski. He's healthy. You know, this is his favorite target. He's looking for him anytime that he gets in the game. And you know, Tom Brady is 43 years old. Anytime he feels pressure around his legs, he's going to throw the ball away. He's going to feel that heat.
No doubt. That'll be the big key to the game. I know we're going to talk about it a lot, but they're on fire on offense. That front four we've seen this year, Chiefs game, Saints game, Brady 43,
Just
can't
dominate.
run more. If there's people around him, he can make some mistakes. There's no doubt.
Hasn't made many recently. 12 TDs, just the 1 pick over his last 4 games. Brady's now a buck tonight. He'll only add to the many playoff records he already owns. Now, we've seen future Hall of Fame quarterbacks change teams late in their careers before. Joe Montana made his first of 2 playoff appearances, Kansas City in '93. Brett Favre took the Vikings to the NFC title game in 2009. Peyton Manning, he lost his Broncos playoff opener in 2012, but won a Super Bowl 3 years later. And after 17 trips to the postseason with New England, it is just about time for Tom Brady's debut with Tampa Bay.
Unleash the beast. Man, it's a monster inside you. That monster got heat. You dedicated your whole life to be right here. Everybody count. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
If you want to be great at something, you're going to have to put all your commitment and effort and discipline in.
Brady has come back with a vengeance.
Let's go. You know what I'm talking about?
Things aren't handed to you as you get older.
5 touchdown passes from Brady.
Nice job, boys. Way to hang in there. All day, just like that.
What a terrific year Tom Brady has had.
Points.
Yep.
Now, just moments away from our Saturday night wildcard matchup, Tom Brady's first playoff game is a buck for Washington. They're looking for their first home playoff
look at that
win
Chase Young.
in over 20 years. Of course, entering today, Buffalo had not won a playoff game, home or away, in a quarter century. That drought ended in front of 6,700 members of the Bills Mafia, facing the Colts under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Colts up 10-7, 4th and goal. Frank Reich says, let's go for it.
And Chris, we were yelling at the television like, this is the playoff game. You're on the road. You always take the points before the half.
No doubt. Go up 13-7.
Take the points,
and
Frank.
see where it goes from there.
Bills get the ball, and they get aggressive with it.
Well, and you give Josh Allen another chance. That's another reason you just like to give the points. But Josh Allen, unbelievable throws here before the end of the first half is over, and really puts them in position to go down and make something happen. Gabriel Davis, what a catch.
Josh Allen enjoyed it later in the drive, 4th and 3. Josh Allen making plays with his feet, his arm, and his mouth. The hard count.
He's, other than Mahomes and Rodgers, he's right there with the best usage of it week after week, buying them free yards and free plays.
So that gets him a first down. The Bills would capitalize. It's Allen for 5 yards.
Nobody wants to hit him.
Well, you're right. And he's almost unstoppable in the 5-yard line, Liam, just because of the way he can extend plays, run, throw. He can do it all.
We move ahead to the 4th quarter, and stop me if you've heard this before. Allen deep to Stephon Diggs.
Stop.
I mean, he recognizes blitz, sees it's one-on-one. He looks the safety off and just makes a great throw.
He is so good. It's just ridiculous.
But Frank Reich, he knows a little something about Buffalo-related comebacks. Under 7 minutes to play, Colts down 11. Rivers to Jack Doyle.
Yeah, say what you want about Phillip Rivers, but I love the way Phillip Rivers competed. He gave them an opportunity to win today.
He definitely did.
2-point conversion, good 3-point game. Colts get it back, 4th down, under a minute to play. Rivers to Zach Pascal, 17-yard gain, but stay with it because the ball comes out. Now, Pascal ruled down on the play. They're going to continue, but Sean McDermott says, wait a minute here.
We got to review it. There was no review from the league. It's inside of 2 minutes, like you said. He calls the timeout. And listen, you see here, it looks like Zach Pascal. To me, it looked like a fumble. It looked like he was off the ground. I was surprised it was not overturned, but I'm glad Buffalo still got the win because we'd have a major catastrophe on their hands if it was the other way around.
Yeah, these Buffalo fans, tense moments. They remember the Hail Murray. They do not want a Hail Rivers, and they don't see one because the pass is knocked out.
And just a smart play by Micah Hyde.
And they've been burned on the Hail Mary before this year.
Here's Josh Allen after the game.
I don't think guys really understand the meaning and the impact of, winning a playoff game for this franchise. But at the same time, I think we're not in tune to that because we want to win more. One's not good enough for us, and we got to go find out a good way to put our best foot forward this week and try to go execute next week, whomever we may play.
Second seed Bills are going to be at home next week, and we know, of course, so will the defending champion Chiefs. Tomorrow, the Titans host the Ravens, and tomorrow night we are going to bring you the Browns and the Steelers in prime time. Josh Allen, when we bring his name up in MVP conversation, the idea, though, is even if your team maybe doesn't outplay the other team, your quarterback can win these games?
I think that's what the way to say it, right? I mean, we watched the game today. The Colts outplayed Buffalo, but I think Josh Allen just made some plays that overcame his team not playing their best on a Saturday afternoon wildcard football game. But I think it's still big they got this win altogether. And, you look at Josh Allen, the things he can do around the 5-yard line we talked about, backyard football, right, Roger?
It looks like a design quarterback run, and just on his own, he just flicks it to the tight end. It's just unbelievable what he could do.
It is. It's playground football. Hey, don't kick the field goal. This was a play that happened later in the drive. Run around, make an unreal throw along the sideline. Then he recognizes the free safety blitz. He looks off the safety down the middle of the field so he doesn't go towards Stephon Diggs. He sees it's one-on-one coverage, and it's Josh Allen laser show.
Hey, Chris, we cannot forget about the offensive line. They gave him all day, gave him great protection back there.
You see the numbers with Josh Allen. Now, Rod, you brought up that this Bills team, biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC. After watching them today, what needs to be cleaned up or changed if they are going to emerge?
Well, I would say defensively, stopping the run.
Yeah.
But when I look at Josh Allen, the thing that really stands out to me is his patience. Before, even if it wasn't open down the field, he would force it. Now he has no problem checking it down. He's very patient, and I think that's part of his growth process.
Buffalo Bills defense today, it was a tough matchup. That Colts team's very balanced. They ran the football. They're not necessarily going to have to worry about that with Pittsburgh next week or some of the other teams in the AFC. It'll be interesting to see where it goes, but I still think for a young football team, it was great they got their first win, and that'll give them more confidence in divisional round weekend.
All right, the Bills are through. Want to update you on what's going on in the NFC, the Rams and the Seahawks. Late in this one, just over 2 minutes remaining. Jared Goff came in. Wolford was hurt in this game, and the Rams are leading it 30-20 as they look to move on in advance. Time now for Home Team Picks, brought to you by Lowe's. We are going to start by sending it to Jack Collinsworth, who begins with America's pick. Jack.
Well, 66% of the country is on Tampa. Tom Brady's the greatest postseason champion in NFL history, and playoff experience matters. Brady, Gronk, Antonio Brown, all those guys have been around for so long, playing their best football. I'm on the Bucks, Mike Florio. How about you?
Well, I'll tell you what. I got Taylor Heineke on one hand. I got Tom Brady on the other hand. And as I try to balance it out, Tom Brady wins, guys.
Well, I can't argue with that kind of analysis. So I'm going to go with the Bucks as well.
Deep dive. Well, I mean, hey, listen, it's as basic as that. I can't lie. And again, I'm really actually like, who's the 34% that voted for Washington? That's what I'd like to know. But I'm taking
You still
Tampa.
have to play the game,
I know
man.
you do, but I'm still taking Tampa. Are you going on a limb here? You going with the front four?
You have one game ahead.
You want to catch me?
I do, but I can't go against my boy. Tom Brady is just too good. It's nothing that you can show him secondary wise that can confuse him. The only way you stop Tom Brady is hit him, and that offensive line, they've done a great job of protecting Tom. I like Tampa.
He's wearing all this TB12 stuff all the time. He's on the team there.
Yeah.
We can't count him on this.
I buy vitamins and TB12, of course.
You're not buying it. He's giving it to you.
He gave us reasons why Washington can keep it close. They got to be physical. They got to maybe ugly this game up a little bit, but he's still going with Tom Brady and the Bucs.
Yeah, the way their offense is playing, they're protecting him, those weapons. I would think it might be tough at early on, but they'll find their way.
Don't forget Ronald Jones.
All right, we're going to bring you those Rams-Seahawks highlights at the half. This action-packed Super Wild Card weekend continues tonight just outside our nation's capital. Brady begins his quest for a 7th Super Bowl. Washington looking for its first playoff win in 15 years. Mike Tirico, Tony Dungy, and Catherine Tappan will have the call.
This has been Football Night in America, presented by Allstate. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes, or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.